Well, hey everybody. I'm in an interesting spot this time. I'm in the lower Jeronimo mine. It's a private mine. Got to pay for access. There's a gate right over there. I'm parked right here, of course. Beautiful view. An absolutely beautiful view. The upper Jeronimo mine's over across that hillside. You can't see it from here. Well, the sun's shining in the camera, you probably can't see it, but Red Cloud Mine's about 2 miles that way. I was gonna go there, but he told me I'd probably enjoy this one better, so I came up here. You can see all the holes in rocks where they've dug and looking for stuff. Where I'm gonna be mining is way up the hill. I don't know, about 300 yards. You can kind of see a tailing pile there, where they've been digging out. That's where I'll be doing my digging. Be camping here for the night. Just not much of an area, doesn't need to be. There's actually a mine shaft. I'll show you when we go up there. It goes about 30 feet deep into the hill, to the same vein I'm gonna be digging at. There's another one over here. That's the end of the vein, but the beginning of it's up where I'm gonna go. And what I'm going to be mining for is Wulfenite, a beautiful crystal. There's actually, he rattled off about 10 different types of minerals or gems that come out of this area. So we'll be looking for all of those. Some are UV reactive, so I will be doing some hunting around here at night. But yeah, I'm going to be here for the next 2 days, enjoying it. Oh, what a view though. Camera just does not do this stuff justice. There's mines all over out here. This is a silver country. So that's originally what everybody was mining for, was silver. Silver kind of, the price dipped, they stopped mining. But right now silver prices are going up. So maybe he said that there's somebody looking to buy all the mines in the area to pretty much flatten the area for silver. Which I hope they don't do that. I mean, I don't mind these little digs and stuff like that. They're not bad. But when someone comes in here and just starts blowing up, knocking down mountains, that's gonna ruin this view. And don't get me wrong, these hills are full of silver. I don't expect to find any. At least the vein I'm gonna be digging in. I've already hiked up there with the owner and checked out exactly where to dig. He was quite happy to show me around, and he showed me around up at Red Cloud Mine, same company. So if you want to come to the Jeronimo mines, you got to go to the Red Cloud Mine to get access. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to set up a hammock right basically behind the Jeep over here in a semi-flat spot. Not really any flat spots here. And camp for a couple days and oh, excuse me. Oh, a little bit of dust. But yeah, it's gonna be fun to head up there, and they've already dug, I don't know, a 5-6 foot deep trench up there, mining out these Wulfenites, getting really nice specimens. So he showed me exactly where they stopped, and I'm gonna keep going from there and hopefully bust out some really nice specimens. We'll see. Well, I figure I probably best show you what I'm going to bring up the hill. It may not look that far, but it's a pretty good distance. I will be bringing my water bottle. I'm spraying stuff down. A pair of just regular utility gloves, nothing special. My shovel, even though there is one up there. He did leave some tools up there, so I will be bringing a small pry bar. My jackhammer bit, which I use for jackhammering rocks. I do have my little rock hammer, and this thing's been great. It's not really great for pounding on these tools. It's nice to get in, or you know, some light digging or something like that. It works great. I haven't beat the heck out of the head of it yet, but it will get beat. Outside of that, I'm carrying a 2.5 pound forging hammer. I love this. It's a DeWalt. Very nice hammer. I've used it a lot. I've forged with it a lot. and it's great for hitting metal. So I don't have to worry about sparks. I don't have to worry about slivers of metal shooting off the stuff. I do have my lights in here. I've got a black light and a gem light, which I won't be using those till nighttime. I got my little belt pouch here, which is full of tools. I probably won't be using the drywall tool very much, but some of the other stuff I will. Wulfenite, if you don't know, is a very small gemstone. I won't probably use a marker, and this will be nice for actually grabbing the small stones if I get them actually out of the host rock. I also have a little brush, a small chisel. I think I got 2 small chisels in here, but those are handy. A screwdriver, which this is nice for getting in and trying to safely pop a stone loose. Wulfenite's not exactly safe. I do have my jeweler's loop, which is just a 30-time magnifying glass. If you're gonna be looking at rocks, you want one of these. They're cheap. Get them on Amazon for like $3 or something. I do carry a pick, something I forged a long time ago, and a magnet. The magnet I probably won't use much here because there's not a lot of magnetic rock, but when there is magnetic rock, the magnet's a good thing to have, which it always sticks to something. And I think that's the end of my belt pouch. I'll also be carrying my rock pouch, which I've showed you guys this a few times before. It's so full of holes. I probably had this almost 30 years. But the holes might be an issue with the rocks I'm going to be collecting, because I'm going to be collecting some really small samples. So those I'll be dumping back into the belt pouch. This does not leak. Or into the bucket itself. Larger specimens definitely going in the bucket. But yeah, it's a basic tool set. I don't know if I'll be using the water much. The rock up there is not a dirty rock. From what I could tell, because I just walked up there and back. We looked around a little bit, not a lot. But I will be using the heck out of the hammer and the jackhammer bit. And if you ever really need something for rocks, you can get this in a point or a spade. I got the spade. I don't have the point yet. I will get one at some point. Yeah, that's my basic set of tools that I'm going to be using. I'll put the belt pouch on my belt like I or around my waist like I normally do, with all those tools in it. This pouch here goes over my shoulder, and the gloves in the bucket. I don't always wear gloves. I mean, you guys probably watched me a lot out rock hounding. Not once you ever see me wear gloves, but I am going to be driving through solid rock. So I kind of want to prevent, too many blisters. But you never know. But yeah, here in a little bit, I'm going to take a trip up there. I'll film that. I might dig a little bit, but what I think I'm going to do this first time is go up through their little tailings pile that they have outside there. When I was just up there earlier, I could see all kinds of stuff. I'm legal to take and keep whatever I want from here, because it is a pay dig, so no matter what I find, it's mine. And hey, I hope I find some good stuff. Maybe some 1/2-inch crystal Wulfenite would be great. I'd die if I found a 1-inch or 1.5-inch crystal. It's not a very common rock, and to be honest, they're worth thousands. But I just want some little ones. I don't have Wulfenite in my collection, so I'd like to have some. And hopefully up there I find some. Where I'm digging it right there, there's another, you can see another tailings pile up there. There's a 100-foot shaft that goes straight down. I did not bring climbing equipment, so I can't go down in there. But he said he went down in there a couple of years ago, and it was full of scorpions, and anything that fell in the hole was down there in the bottom of that mine shaft. So yeah, I'm not going in there. The other shaft goes 30 feet into this boulder rock here. You might be able to pick out the fan vent, which is sucking air out because rats, I guess it's loaded with rats, and the smell is, have you ever been around enough rats, you know what the smell is. It's not a good smell. I might go in there and check it out, but I don't have a mask, so I probably won't. You need a respirator for that kind of thing. But I will go up and check the other mine site up there. He said there was little tiny Wulfenites that are coming out of that. It seems like that's the end of that vein that runs through the hillside there. So we'll see. And I hope to get at it here pretty soon. I'll take that walk up there and show you guys the trail, which is not a very good trail. I can't believe they hiked up all the equipment they did up there. And at one point they're using an air hammer. So they had to run a compressor line all the way up there to do that. And that's crazy to me. It's a lot of work for a little recovery, but you never know what you find. That's why you give it a try. That's what mining's all about. Well, starting up the trail. Hard telling camera, but it's pretty steep. I'm already quite a ways above the Jeep. So hopefully the heavy breathing doesn't bother you too much, because I'm definitely gonna be breathing. The bucket is not light. Pretty cool though. We're almost to the first mine shaft I was talking about that goes about 30 feet up into the mountain. I did not bring a headlamp, so I'm not going in. I didn't plan on going in either. Let's set the bucket down here. Oh. Okay, yeah. I got the airflow here for moving out air. Ooh, yeah, it stinks. Ooh, it stinks. I can see he's got his mask right there, but that isn't a good enough mask. A couple tools here. Yeah, this is all carved by hand. Pretty crazy. Whew. And yeah, I'm breathing hard. But yeah, he said he installed the ventilation, try to remove the smell of the rats. Oh, it is strong right here at the entrance. Can't imagine what it's like back there 30 feet or so. And I can see jugs of bleach going back there, a few of them. Just been dumping it on the floor to try to kill the smell. Whew, okay, enough of that. Wow. So, next part is a basic scramble up to that site up there. Kind of winds around, but footing's not great. At least here, it's kind of a trail, but up there it's not. So I'll bring you back once I get close. Well, you may be curious, there's a little man-made wall here. This is to keep just the overflow from going out of control down the hill. Water runoff, stuff like that. It does work a little bit. You can see that it actually drains out underground right there, which is kind of cool. Sorry, saw something shiny. Just a rock. Yeah, kind of cool. Nothing valuable, but all right, we're moving. It's a slow climb. My legs are slightly out of shape, but onward. All right, I'm up to the dig site, which is here. Where I'm going to be digging is right here, all through this darker rock. Whew, heck of a climb. And he did leave a bunch of tools up here I can use. But yeah, they've dug all this out by hand and thrown everything over the side, which I'm sure there's a lot of stuff in this stuff. At least he said there was, and when I was looking around earlier, I could see a couple little tiny pieces here and there. But I'm not looking for little tiny. So what I'm gonna do is get my backpack off, sit down and relax for a minute. That's quite a trek up from the Jeep. May not look like much, but wow, that's steep. And yeah, I'm breathing heavy. What a view, huh? Beautiful out here. All right, I'll be back. Well, I've been chipping at this for about an hour. Kind of need to get this big chunk out of my way because what I want is kind of under there. So I've been chipping from the side here, chipping around the face, digging it out. And you can see lots of fresh dirt here from me digging it out. I do have a few specimens. One of them is, I don't know if this camera's going to pick it out, but a pink quartz vein running right up along there. Very brittle. So I don't know if I got any intact pieces. Well, it's the next day. I've been up at the mine site for 2.5 hours this morning. And I left most of what I found up there, but what I've been finding is small pieces of Wulfenite. Hopefully the camera will pick them up. But yeah, you can see that one. Try to get it out in the shadow. A little bit here on the host rocks, which is pretty cool. And I don't know, just before I came down, I ran into a vein, so I got a pretty good collection up there. And this little dark druzy quartz is kind of cool. I just kept it because it was kind of cool. But yeah, my arm's tired, so I figured come down, take a break. Oh, heck of a view from up there at the mine site, though. A heck of a view. Now, the view isn't bad from here either. And right below me here, you might be able to see the road. It's part of the Arizona Peace Trail. And there was about, I don't know, about 10 or 12 vehicles already went by this morning. Yesterday we saw, I don't know, probably 15, 2 different groups. But yeah, the road comes through the valley along this wash. I have not been down that way, but I can see way over in the distance over there a BLM sign. There's also another one at the other end of this valley. Pretty cool. And this morning I was walking around right here. You can see all this broken glass. Well, one of the things I found out here is a nice little quartz cluster, little quartz crystals. The camera's not going to do it very good, but pretty cool. Yeah, it was just laying right out here. I thought it was a piece of glass till I got next to it. So I figured I'll come down here, take a break, have lunch, and then hike back up there and dig some more. I didn't do a whole lot of digging yesterday because when I went up there, I forgot my glasses. And last thing you want to do is be pounding on a hammer, chisel, and rock without glasses. So at least today I remembered my glasses. So I'll get as much as I can done today. And this is owned by the same people that own the Red Cloud mine, which I showed you over there. The guy that manages the area manages this mine, which is the lower Jeronimo mine. And there's another Jeronimo mine over there he manages, and he manages the Red Cloud mine, which the Red Cloud mine's the most popular. You can go over there, dig through their pit, through their tailings pile, and find basically what I've been finding so far. Probably without all the hammering and chiseling. But yeah, once I get back up there, I'll show you what damage I've done, which I've moved quite a bit of rock. You got to move all the host rock before you can get to the veins with the crystals in them. They're beautiful little crystals. I'll try to get some really close-up shots when I get back of some of the better crystals that I've found, which I found a few. They're not very big. I'd say my biggest one I've found so far is close to a 1/4 inch. He's saying I should be able to find up to 1/2 inch up there, so hopefully I find some of those. That'd be nice. But yeah, I'm gonna take a break and relax and let my shoulder relax. It's a little tired from swinging that sledgehammer, but yay. Well, here's where I've been working. There's a little pocket right there, which I'd worked down that way, but this was all out to here, so quite a bit of digging. I'm wore out though. But yeah, that's a nice little pocket there. Camera will focus. And I got, you know, probably a tablespoon of crystals. Not a whole lot, but I didn't expect to find a whole lot either. Oh. So yeah, I think we're done. Now we got to decide whether we're gonna hang out here for the night or not. I haven't decided yet. It's a long ways to anywhere from here, but wouldn't mind finding a spot where I can get some quartz crystals, find that kind of stuff. There are some here, but I know about 5 miles back down this road, maybe, might be a couple spots, but we'll see. Well, I'm back and got my rocks out, kind of checking them out. It's a nice little crystal right there, pretty good shape. Most of the stuff I got was pretty small, but you know, my first Wulfenite, so that was pretty fun. And you kind of see here, this is the rock I was digging through. You can see the quartz in it. Not all of it had quartz. I mean, this is a hard section right there. I got a piece over here that I thought was pretty cool. No, sorry about that, battery died. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. The craters and stuff like that. Actual piece of the quartz that didn't shatter when I broke it out. You can see it's got a lot of fractures. Pretty cool. This rock is kind of weird, but whatever's on it is UV reactive. I found it at night when I was going around. No idea. Could be just nothing. And, you know, I did find a little crystal. Another little cluster there. Just a rock. Another just a rock. I have a bad habit of just picking them up, then, you know, sort through them later. This one I did like. Let's see if we can get a little light on it here, make a difference. That's pretty cool. Very sparkly. But yeah, overall, it was a good trip. If you're ever out there, the Red Cloud Mine Road, you're definitely going to want a high clearance vehicle. You could probably make it in 2-wheel drive, not too many spots. It's just the clearance. I hit bottom in the Jeep a few times. But outside of that, it's a good drive. I do recommend 4-wheel drive to get out there, but everything's fun. Beautiful. It was a beautiful camp. I had fun. I am sore from all the hammer and chiseling I did having to go through that rock, but it was worth it. And I want to thank everybody for watching.